really nothing more important than taking care of our loved ones. And our next guest is here to help us shed some light on the many benefits of senior care services. Please welcome back to our home instead, Gerontologist Lakelyn Hogan. Welcome back, Lakelyn.
Welcome, Lakelyn.
As you can see, Paige and Ken are joining us because this is a very important conversation for all of us as our parents age, as our grandparents age. So why don't we just start off with a staggering statistic that you and I were talking about a little earlier. I can hardly believe this, and I think you all are going to be shocked as well. By the year 2020, people who are 65 and older will actually outnumber children under the age of 5. Now, this is the first time in human history this has ever happened.
In 2020, that's just like next year.
Right. That's
in a few months.
It's happening as we're sitting here. It's happening. What does that mean for our futures?
Well, as you just mentioned, this is a significant point in our history. If you start to look around, you might start to notice more older adults in your neighborhoods and communities. But it really is a global phenomenon as well. So, by the year 2020, this is going to be an issue. But by the year 2050, there's going to be double the number of people over the age of 65 than the world's youngest citizens. Wow. So again, it is a truly global issue. And with that growing population of 65 plus, there's also a growing need for assistance and support. And we find family members are the first to jump in and help out. But when they're not available or they need some extra support, companies like Home Instead Senior Care, our professionally trained caregivers, are there to step in, as well as other kinds of healthcare workers.
Right.
Wow, it's pretty, like you
I
said,
mean, it's
staggering statistics. And there are key factors as to why the 65 plus population is growing like this. So let's talk about some of those.
Yes, there's really two main factors. The first is that our healthcare system, technology, has really come a long way in extending the lifespan.
Which is great news.
Yes. Yeah, people are living into their 80s, 90s, and beyond. And then the second factor is that baby boomer population, they're starting to age. 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day here in the U.S. So those two together are really creating this growing demographic.
I mean, it's good news, but it can also be some not so good news because unfortunately, as our seniors age and they begin to retire, in their retirement years, they are starting to face some financial hardships because I think, people weren't prepared to live as long as we are these days. Sure. And I don't think we really quite understand just how difficult it is for them. Can you help us understand just how underfunded they are?
Yes, so seniors are underfunded, and there's so many opportunities to help with the need, whether it's giving, learning, or serving. We know that that oldest demographic, that 85 plus demographic, is the most rapidly aging part of our population. So you're right, people are outliving their retirement savings. They're also on a limited income. So we're finding about 40% of middle-class Americans are ending up in poverty in their older years. 40%? Yes.
Oh, that's frightening.
It breaks my heart.
But when you
of middle class,
yes,
by the way, so they
middle
lived
class.
very well their whole lives, and in the retirement, they're in poverty.
Wow.
And if you look at the amount of grant funding that goes towards causes of all kinds, only 1%, just 1% is going towards senior-related causes. So the need is great, but the funding is minimal. So there's really an imbalance there.
It really feels like they are in need of extra care.
Yes, absolutely.
1% is not enough.
Exactly. And we see a need for care in a variety of areas, but we also see that older adults are fiercely independent. They want to age in place at home. They want
You met my mother?
My grandma.
Not yet. But yes, this is a reality for many families. And at Home Instead Senior Care, we see the greatest need in the areas of activities of daily living. So that's bathing, grooming, mobility assistance. We also see need in nutrition and medication management. Both are very important for health and well-being of our older loved ones. And then also in our older years, people feel isolated and lonely. So that need for companionship and emotional support is also really important.
And, it's hard. It's hard to keep up with it too, because we're all working, and then you think like they're at home watching the show, which is wonderful. My grandma's 97 years old, and she's so funny. She watches the show every day and tells me if I did good or bad. But we try within my household. We try at least once a week to go and either bring her food or make extra food so we have leftovers. But we all get busy, and she insists on living alone. 97 years old.
That's
amazing. She lives alone.
Well, and it seems like you guys are meeting that social need, getting her some nutrition.
Not as much as we should.
Well, it's a good first step.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you probably feel the same way. You'd want to live alone as well, you know?
You probably, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of seniors worry about losing their dignity and their independence.
That's what it is.
Exactly. A home instead can ease these worries because they provide such great personalized care. Let's talk about that.
Yes, as I just mentioned earlier, that independence factor is so important. It's a big part of our identity, that independence. And so at Home Instead Senior Care, our professional caregivers, they work to maximize the independence and dignity of the older adults we serve through highly personalized care. And what that means is that we meet the older adult where they're at, and as their needs grow, we can grow our services alongside of them. And it's in those areas that I just described earlier, those activities of daily living, nutrition, medication management, socialization, companionship. Those are the really important things our caregivers do to enhance the lives of those we serve.
You all do such a great job. I really commend everything you do. Honestly, Lakelyn, you're really above and beyond. You're exceptional. And you also have something, a new initiative you guys are calling Ready to Care. Tell us about Ready to Care.
Yes, I love this initiative. So we started this initiative, Ready to Care, back in the spring of last year. And it's really, the idea behind it is little acts of kindness and service and caring can go a long way in helping older adults. We've been talking about this growing aging population, but there are things we can all do in our communities, our neighborhoods, to provide a little extra support and care to those around us. And again, it's really simple things that go a long way and really make the biggest difference for older adults.
I love that. So my two neighborhoods that I've lived in San Francisco, I moved into, they were an older neighborhood. And the first one, we had a resident, longtime resident, Miss Ruby, that was there forever. She was the last left of a generation. And so we would take care of her in the neighborhood. My new street, just a few blocks away, we have Miss Jeanette, who'd been there forever, and we all would bring her food and stop by and visit with her on the front porch. Really and lovely community building, not only good for them, but I think honestly it was good for the community. They both, unfortunately, are no longer with us. But I want my kids to have that same sort of community experience of reaching out and helping and respecting the elder citizens. So how would I go about getting my kids involved? Is
That's
there
a
any
great
way
question,
to
Ken.
I
Yes,
can do that?
I love that you want to do that for your children. And it really is teaching them that the little things make the biggest difference. And you can go to I'mReadyToCare.com and sign up for our social movement. You just enter your information and get a text message with a weekly care mission. And these missions are fun and easy. They revolve around giving, learning, and serving.
Like what kind of things?
The very first one is just to say hello to a senior. So, and we can all do that. We all have older neighbors or people at the grocery store. So again, these care missions are fun and easy, and they can make a big difference by doing
as a
just
family,
this.
let's see what our text, and then do it, execute it as a group.
That's really cute.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So great, easy way to get involved. Just check out our site.